What's up everybody, I'm back with another Unreal Engine 4 tutorial, and in this video we are going to add these weapons to our game. So my girlfriend has created these models and they are free to use in whatever project you desire these to be used. So let's start with the equipping tutorial. So what I've done already is I've created a animation for my weapon to be drawn to aim. So this is just simply moving the arm upwards, and also I've created a pickup for my revolver. And the things that are important in this is that, well, here I have the scaling to 0.1 since this was pretty big for my game. And in the item data I've called this Revolver, so this is going to be important for our switches, and the type is weapon, which also is important for our switches. So let's close the animation. We don't need this. Let's leave this open for now, just in case. And the first thing what I'm going to do is in the inventory system, in the equipment items, I'm going to duplicate the equip axe, and I'm going to call this equip revolver. There we go. And I'm going to do this in blueprint editor open. And in the viewport, I'm going to do something a bit different, because if we would add a revolver right now to over here, this is really huge, and if we change this scaling, then we need to change the code as well, because I have set up that this always gets created with scale 1. So if we have multiple different types of meshes and we want them all to be in the same size, what we can do here is add another static mesh component, and we can add revolver to this one like so, and change the scaling down to the one that we desire for this item. So it should be something like this. And also, so here is the handle where we should hold the weapon, and this is a little bit back, so we can adjust this like so. And we can do the same thing for all of our equipment items that we want to have. So the next thing what I'm going to do is remove the collision for my revolver. No collision, so that the equipment item wouldn't collide with our character. And just in case, I'm also going to replicate the component itself if we want to change something during the gameplay. So now I can remove this to set to none. And that's going to be it for our equip revolver. Now I will go to my third-person character, and let's see. So here we have our server equip item, and in this one we have a switch which goes to weapons, and weapons goes to this switch. And I'm going to add a pin, and I'm going to call this revolver, just like I have my weapons name. And now I will copy all of these nodes, paste them over here, and connect this like so. There we go. So spawn, transform, and the execution. And this one is our equip revolver, and the parent of this add attached to component needs to be our mesh from the third-person character. And we are not going to smash with this weapon, so this needs to be false. So that's it for this. So I believe that now if we would press play, go and pick up an item. Yes, we are equipping it, and it fits nicely into our arm. There we go. So the next thing what I will do now is we need to create our custom animation for drawing a weapon. And we already have called these start bow animation, stop bow animation, but we are going to use the same events for all of our custom animations. So I'm going to rename all of these from bow to custom. There we go. So since we renamed this one, then automatically over here where we are executing this, it got renamed as well. So that's good. Let's see. The next thing what we are going to do is, so we need to create a couple of things as well. So I'm going to actually begin by creating a UI for my weapon, because I want to have a crosshair on my screen. So I'm going to create a new blueprint interface, and I'm gonna call this UI Crosshair. And you could add a custom one with a image or whatever you desire to have. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to add a text block. I'm gonna anchor this to the middle, and I'm going to set content to be plus sign, which will be a regular font and maybe a tad bit bigger. And I'm just going to simply fit this in the middle like so. So that's going to be my crosshair. As simple as that. So now let's see. So we have this set up. So now in the third person character left mouse button, what I'm gonna do is I will do a switch instead of this branch check. So I'm gonna drag from this and I'm gonna do a switch on string, and the selection needs to be the name. And let's add some pins. So we have a bow and we have a revolver, which need to have custom animations. So now what I will do is remove this branch check, remove this bow string equal check, and for the bow I'm gonna connect this over here. That's going to run this bow animation. I'm gonna drag this down and I'm going to connect this to default. So if the switch does not find an exit over here from the selections, then it's going to go to default. So this is basically like false in our case. So that's that for this one. And let's see what else I might do is, so from the revolver we should do again our start custom animation, and we should do the same thing over here. So let's see. So this is a constructed object. So what I might do actually is, so create widget, and let's see what type of variable this is. Let's promote this to a variable, which is a user widget. So if we would change maybe this to user widget, change variable type, there we go. So I believe this should work pretty good. So just in case, I will test this out right now, because I renamed changed the type of this. We have an error. Yes, I know, I left it to be there, and there is an actual error, and this does not allow me to do anything. So if we would recompile this without an error, yeah, this works. That's weird, we got an error just because of a widget. So now let's pick up a bow to retest this, and yes, this does work like it is supposed to. So what we can do now is we can create our widget like so, and the widget in this case needs to be our UI crosshair, and I will move these down even more. And from here I'm going to set this variable, connect this, so this is going to set the variable, and I could actually rename this from UI arrow power to UI aim, should be good. And the next thing what I will do, I will add to viewport like so. So now we are adding this to viewport as well as soon as we start aiming. So now what we also should do is we need to send a information of what type of item do we have in our hands. So I want to use the same function for all of my weapons. So I'm going to add a input over here, and I'm going to call this name, which needs to be a string type, since we are using string for the name. And we need to add this to this one as well. So again, the name, and let's connect the pins like so. And let's actually work on this one first in that case. So in this server start custom animation, we are going to do a switch on string, like so. And for this switch, we are adding 2 pins, and the first one is bow, and the second one is revolver. And we are connecting these. So this is bow. I'm gonna copy paste this node. I'm gonna use my character female pistol animation, which needs to go in the revolver, and the target needs to be the mesh. So there we go, that's that. And the next thing, back in this event, now we have this name field, so we can connect this to the name. And let's see if I could actually do a proper rerouting. So there we go, we have our reroutes, we have set up our names, we are creating a widget, and now we should do this part as well. So let's see. So now this is checking if we are shooting an arrow, but we are not shooting an arrow. So let's copy all of this because we should change it up a bit. So this goes to released. So now we have a switch over here in the top part as well. I should make more space for this one. Seems good. So now we are doing this thing, and let's see. So I will disconnect these, and what I will do is connect this to bow like so that we would not shoot arrows anymore, and I will do this like so. So we have this stop custom animation and remove this UI aim, and it's going to be one of our widgets. And so I can just connect this like so, and also connect the revolver directly to over here because we don't need to set this variable. So I will do a reroute over here as well. So this should look something like this. Pretty simple, to be honest with you. Before I made this, I was thinking that this could look a little bit more complex, but it actually looks pretty good. So now let's test out the animations, and of course, like always, I will test this better out in the client side. So let's draw a weapon. We are drawing a weapon, and this is coming back properly. So now if we aim, we can see that we are creating this crosshair. And there we go. So, but we don't want to shoot in our character. So what I will do actually is I will move this character to side a little bit. Well, actually I will do this with a camera. So now in the viewport I will select the camera. I will move this out, and I will move this up, and I will move this a bit more forward until I find the position I want this to be. So this seems pretty legit. Yeah, so now we can shoot this properly. Piff puff. And yeah, seems pretty cool. So let's start shooting some things. So I will leave this to be this way for now. I don't want to go into long tutorials because most of my tutorials are pretty long, and I don't want to make you guys So this is going to be it for this video, this tutorial. Like all of my tutorials has gone a bit long. Well, this is not the longest one, but I want to keep these a bit more shorter to be easier to understand and yeah, easier to follow. And in the next video we are going to fix some issues. We are going to shoot the bullet, of course, and also we are going to make sure that when we look down, our character pistol also starts to look down instead of just standing like it is, because we are aiming at the air and the pistol is definitely not aiming where we want it to aim. So we're going to fix those issues as well. And yeah, thanks for watching. Also guys, I have created a Discord channel. I will leave a link down in description, and also I will type down my Discord name in case if you have any questions or you want to talk or you need help with something. Please feel free to contact me in Discord, and yeah, I will answer you, help you. I've already helped a few people, so yeah, add me and we can talk.